Hello and welcome to PiscesMoon Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Kate Leonard, and I'm excited to explore the stars with you. Hi everyone, welcome to the last week before eclipse season. Oh my gosh, how big is this, right? We're going to be looking at September 8th through September 14th. And just a reminder, the eclipse is happening on the 17th. So this is our last free week before that energy starts. And I am happy to announce that it is good. I am so excited about this week. I can't wait to share it with you. I usually save this to the end, but I'm going to slip it in here. Do all the things, subscribe, share the podcast, all that stuff. And let's get right into it because there's so much. Oh my gosh, there's so much. I am calling this long-range plans, new ideas, and an end of the week Venus bonus. That's what I'm looking at here. So let me give you the quick dates and all of that kind of thing coming up. Mercury. It's really about Mercury this time, y'all. This week, Mercury enters home sign Virgo on the 8th. Super good. Here's how I want you to think of this, all right? You know how bad Mercury retrogrades are? You know, all of those things, they go wonky, like your plans fall through and your car breaks down and your computer blows up and all the stuff. This is like the anti-Mercury retrograde. And I really do know that logically that just means Mercury direct, but this is a really good Mercury direct because he's direct in his own sign, the king on his own throne. We're going to be getting the opposite of all of that crazy stuff we get when he's not so good. Then, right as we are falling in love with Mercury this week, he is going to form a sextile, which is a positive relationship to Mars, who's in Cancer. This is going to happen on the 11th. Mars in Cancer is weird energy, but this sextile is really good. We're going to get that Mars boost to all the good that's already happening with Virgo. Can't wait to get into this. And as if that weren't enough, you know what? After last week, I had really decided to kind of focus in more to keep the episodes a little bit shorter. But the week before the eclipse, we've got a big Venus trine Jupiter bonus extravaganza for the weekend. How could I not talk about it, right? You guys would not even like me if I left that part out. So we're going to do it. All right. So let's start with Mercury going into Virgo on the 8th. Now keep in mind, Virgo is that detail-oriented, really by the book earth sign, right? She's like the executive or maybe like a really top-notch administrative assistant, right? Who's going to go around and make sure that everything gets done right. Mercury is fantastic here. Mercury's the mind, our ideas, thinking, communicating, all forms of it. My writer friends out there, are you listening to this? Because Mercury is all kinds of communication. Mercury also rules travel and things like that. However, I don't think that this week it's going to be mostly about travel, but it could be. So with all of that kind of preamble, this week is going to be really good for all of those plans that we've been thinking through, revising, putting in place, all of that stuff. But the energy has felt a little stuck, a little blocked. We're getting kind of a blah sort of results to the plans that we've been making. No more. That is done. That is over. We're going to be able to go in and really finalize it all. Does that make sense? Like get all of those details in place, really pin it down and launch. This is a week where we're putting the final touches on it and really launching. Here is my pro tip for you, okay? I don't know. I mean, these should all be pro tips since I'm the astrologer, right? But this is a pro tip. When Mercury's retrograde, we always tell you don't make long-range plans. Don't look too far ahead because you're going to end up changing these, revising these, all of that, right? Now, while Mercury's in Virgo, look ahead. I want you to go out there and pin those plans down, right? So if you're thinking about taking a birthday trip next year to I don't know, wherever you're thinking of taking a birthday trip to, Paris, or I don't know, get the tickets. Make sure they're refundable because, don't be ridiculous. No, I didn't say that. Get the tickets. Make the arrangements. Mercury retrograde will not mess up. So, right, next time Mercury goes retrograde, he's not going to mess up what he's put in place at this time while he's being the king on his throne. It's almost like a fail-safe way of kind of taking your biggest plans and kind of cementing them in there where not even a Mercury retrograde will do them much harm. So this is really the time. Are you planning a trip? Are you writing a book? Book it all out. Schedule your time. Where are you doing this writing? Whatever it is, get the schedule down. Put it on the calendar, your hours that you're going to be writing. Or if that's anything like you want to start a business and you're going to do a pre-launch marketing thing in 6 months, get it scheduled. Get all the stuff in place now so that when the time comes, nothing that's gone on in between is likely to mess it up. This is really good for long-term planning and really getting those plans made solid. So I am so loving this. Yeah, get out your agendas. Get it all set in place. Here's the Virgo part, right? Make those plans as specific and concrete as you can. Earth sign Virgo, who's all about the details, right? She's going to help get it all pristine, she's going to make sure that all the details make sense. So when you're putting whatever it is in the agenda or buying tickets or whatever it is, really look at those details, right? Virgo's going to help you do that. This is so fantastic. Also, Mercury rules. It's weird how they talk about it. It's like what we do in the marketplace. Okay, that's the old, way of talking about it. I know you guys always hear me talk about Venus ruling money. Venus rules value, but Mercury rules the business of money. So like the buying, selling, trading, all of that kind of stuff. So that's why it is a really good time to be making the plans, setting the plans in place. And you don't only have to plan. You can actually launch this stuff now, too. I'm just saying if you do have big projects with long-term plans, get them nailed down. But go ahead and do stuff as well. I'm not trying to tell you to hold off. So anything like marketing your business, marketing your books, are you guys writing your query letters? Anything that involves marketing those of us who do content creation and stuff like that, we are the product, right? We've got to market these services. So anything that's about buying, selling, trading, and also anything to do with advertising, marketing, all of that stuff. This is a fantastic week. Do the stuff this week and also plan your marketing campaign for the next year. So write your query letter, writers, and then, start mapping out which editors or agents are you sending those things to. Excellent. I love this. And then I love it even more On 9/11. Okay, so like I told you, Mercury in Virgo is going to move into a sextile, which is a positive aspect with Mars in Cancer. All right, so we've already talked about what Mercury in Virgo is like. Details, planning, all the stuff, right? Okay, let's talk though a little bit about Mars in Cancer because Mars is not thrilled. I just want to say, we always talk about the psycho killer side of Mars or the noble warrior. Mars in Cancer is kind of like, Cancer's a water sign and it's a very emotional water sign. It's called the nurturer. Some people call it the mommy sign, which I really don't like, but just to throw it out there that many people think of it that way. Cancer is nurturing. Cancer also, though, has a shell and those little claw pinchy things that'll get you too. It's water. Mars is fire. Mars wants to do. Where Cancer wants to just sort of group hug everybody, mostly. Mars is like, let's get on with things. We don't have time for all of that stuff. So, and it's just, you can think about it, fire and water. They really don't go well together, right? It's just not the best combination. And so Mars is like, I always picture this little fire god, treading water out there in the land of Cancer going, what do you want me to do with all of this? And so it's a little bit weird. But what he does manage to pull off while he's in Cancer is he can really help us get very concretely in touch with our very deep emotions, right? Our really deep inner truth, which is that watery Cancer. Mars can kind of be like, all right, if we're gonna be in this domain, then let's get to it. Right? Let's get there and really probe this in a more active kind of way. So this is also a good week for us just kind of going deep, trying to figure out what do I really want. Now remember, this is in relationship to Mercury. So what do I want my career to look like? What do I want my writing life to look like? What ideas do I want to put out into the world? How do I want to market myself? What's my brand? Does it align with who I really am in my heart and soul? Those kinds of questions can be explored during this time that starts on 9/11. We'll probably be in it even a day or so before. Now, even though I really do like this energy, and you guys know I tell you the truth, but I do want to also add that Mars in Cancer can be a little bit tantrumy. And you'll know it. It won't be like big outburst of anger. You don't have to tell all your friends and family, like, look, hide away because I'm going to be going through this Mars Cancer thing and I might eat you up or something. But it'll be tantrumy, right? Like it'll be trivial. Like, in the middle of all of this exploring what you really want to put out there in the world in this communicative, mercurial way, you'll hit some nerve in you. You'll hit a soft spot. It'll just be like you'll burst into tears, right? And you'll have a little tantrum about it. Or somebody, depending on where this hits you, always look at your birth chart. Where is Cancer in your birth chart and where is Virgo? That's going to tell you a lot about where you might be tantruming. So just be aware of that. I know I said this is good, so I'm going to get off that part, but I did want to give you a little warning. So here's how I like to think of it. Mercury's great in Virgo, but Virgo, and to some extent Mercury, they're not exciting. Especially Virgo, right? I'm sorry to all you Virgos out there. We all have Virgo somewhere. This is no criticism to anybody. We really need that energy. But the Virgo energy is not what lights our fires, right? First off, it's an earth sign, so it's not supposed to light fire. And it's about details. It's not like some sexy party, wow, it's the Virgin, right? So the cool thing about Mars hooking up in this relationship is that he's going to bring passion. He's going to bring passion and in Cancer, deep feeling to whatever we're doing. So it may be that we start off the week working with that Mercury stuff, starting with the details, really starting the planning. Then Mars comes in on the 11th and boom, we are launching stuff. We're making stuff happen, okay? So it's really good. I like it a lot. And as I promised, I think that's good, right? I really like it. And you know what I really like about it also is it's not as complicated as some of the energies have been recently, where it's like a square to this and an opposition to that and all of that really complicated kind of angling that we've been doing. This is much more clear cut, I feel. It's not that other stuff isn't going on in the sky. It for sure is. But I think this is pretty clear. But then hold the press. Is that a thing? Hold the phone? No, the press, right? Because there's an announcement. We have Venus coming in for the weekend. This is going to happen on 9/14, okay? So for the whole weekend, and again, we'll feel this. This is a really big transit, so we're going to feel this before the 14th, but that's when it hits exact. We've got Venus in her home sign of Libra. We've already talked about this in an earlier episode, but this, like Mercury at his best in home sign Virgo, this is Venus in one of her signs. She is the goddess on her throne, and so she is at her most powerful. I can say that. She is at her most powerful. She is at her most radiant. This is so great. Libra is about bringing people together, balance, fairness, companionship, all of that stuff. She's trining Jupiter in Gemini. What's Jupiter? Luck, expansion, big, right? Jupiter says, oh, you got it? Let's make it bigger. Let's supercharge it. Jupiter's in Gemini. Now, in all fairness is not really the word. In full disclosure, I guess that's the way to say it. Jupiter does not love Gemini. Jupiter's not in a good position in Gemini. But Jupiter was known by the ancient astrologers as the greater benefic. So even when Jupiter's not so at the top of his game, he's not bad. So it's okay. But he's in Gemini. So let's talk about that. You all know Gemini. This is the other Mercury-ruled sign. So I like that while we've got all of this Mercury energy going on, we've also got Jupiter and Venus interacting with Gemini. It's just a big week of communication. That's what I got to say. So that's what Gemini is, right? Social interaction, communication. Gemini is called the social butterfly of the zodiac, right? Because it's about getting out there with the people, talking. Libra, where Venus is all about making everyone comfortable. Let's have fun, group hug, make sure everybody's doing okay. So we've got the two really social signs involved here, right? So what am I thinking? I'm thinking big. I am thinking big, you guys. I am thinking love and outward communication of love, right? So expansion of relationships in general. Now, that can be work relationships, friendships, family relationships, relationships with yourself, if this has anything to do with your first house, relationship with your pets, if it's hitting you in your sixth house, all kinds of relationships, because Venus is about relationships. Gemini is about interacting and really engaging with those relationships. And Libra is all about doing that in a way that makes everybody happy and comfortable. Does this not sound like a giant party or something to you? Because that's what I'm thinking. But back to love. Expansion of love relationships. Gemini likes to talk, right? So maybe saying the words that haven't been said before. Have you been waiting for that I love you? Have you been waiting to say it? Have you been waiting to receive or make the proposal? But other kinds of things as well, just really reaching out and being open and honest in a positive way. Not in that, I want to be honest, I think you're horrible. Not that. Reaching out to friends, family, whoever, and really just kind of opening up to them and like, hey, I like you. Let's do some stuff, right? It will involve socializing. Let's get together. Let's have that party. How about a big family dinner? It just depends where it's hitting you, how this is gonna exactly play out. But however it does, it is nothing but good. Venus in home sign, trine is the most positive aspect, and Jupiter the greater benefic. I mean, there just is no way that this is anything but good. So put all of these energies together too. It might be a good time to get together with your business partners. Do you have a friend or somebody that you've been wanting to go into business with? Writing partners, people that you're working with, as far as like helping each other out in marketing campaigns, things like that, partnerships, writing groups, I don't know, just plain old parties as well. So I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. I'm expecting to hear back from people about all those airline tickets you bought, and I want to be invited to the wedding. I don't know. It's all good stuff, and I'm just super happy. Just a little taste of what's to come. The eclipse is happening on the 17th. That's next week. I'll be talking about that for sure in next week's episode. But remember that eclipses always occur when the sun and moon are very, very near the lunar nodes. That's what creates the eclipse. When this happens next week, the south node is going to be in Libra with Venus. So I'm really thinking that what is going on this weekend is going to be a little bit of a preview of coming attractions, okay? There's going to be some overlap with what we're going to be getting the following week when the eclipses hit, when the first eclipse hits. So I think that's what I've got for you this week. I hope you're as stoked about the whole thing as I am. I am truly excited for this. I would love it if you get in touch and let me know how this goes for you. There are a bunch of ways to leave comments for me and get in touch with me. Those will be down below in the show notes, like always. And yes, thank you for being here. I really, truly can't tell you how grateful I am. I honestly can't. So I guess that's it. Until next week, go out and seize the energies of the stars. That's my wish for you always. And yeah, I'll talk to you next week. Happy Mercury Venus. All right. Bye.